Hi, friends, it's Yvon. I'm at the thrift store. Let's see what's happening. That's not bad. Let's see. $12.99, that's all. I mean, we're landlocked here in Colorado, but I think there's still some beach lovers. I might put that in the cart for the booth. Not shipping, just the booth, right? I did pick up a Snow Baby bank that I saw on the end cap. Not sure if I'm going to get it. It resells for somewhere around 12 to 18. I'm not sure if I want to do that. Yeah, thrifting is a lot different than it used to be. Of course, I've been doing this since the 80s. It's a lot different. This is the location that really prices things up, but I usually can find something. I'm just working my way down Academy to all the thrift stores. I've got um, I've got an appointment with the tax lady. That's a Z gallery. The bottom is not glassy baby type, but it looked quality. Z Gallery does some cool stuff. Some of their stuff can resell for a little more, make it worth it. Well, I see something. Somebody changed their mind and got a little stash here, but it's that right there. Yes, definitely this. Gosh, it opens up and everything. That's probably what, 40s, 50s? No rhinestones missing. Okay, I already put back the Snow Baby. Seriously, I am not. Things have to change. If you'll notice, listening to other resellers, YouTube resellers, like a lot of them are freaking out. A lot of them are sweating it because it's the only source of income. I'm fortunate for me that it's not. I've been honest with you guys about that. That's kind of cool. I was setting this up for, you know, when I go into Social Security, when we retire, and my husband is going to retire now. So I'm going to be spending more time with him. Let's see what else somebody stashed in here. Make sure I don't miss something else cool. those are cute. Okay, anyways, what was I thinking? Multitasking. Um, and I want to get back into clothing. Not that I ever left. I just didn't talk about it as much. And I've explained to you guys why. But a lot of you said, hey, we don't care about the hanger screeching. I'm like, okay, cool. Because I love to sell clothing. I love fashion. And District hit me up right before my surgery with a deal that's kind of hard to refuse to start a marketplace. You know, they're rounding people up because they cannot survive on just the few people that are over there right now. I was talking about that with a couple other people and it's like, yeah, they're tech bros. This is not really exactly what they have in mind. I'm pretty sure. So it has got to grow more. I don't think it'll last. So I've just kind of been waiting and watching. Also, hang on, you guys. I want to look inside here. It's not real wood, so I don't even know why I'm opening it. I'm just talking. So, anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of been watching it, and plus I had surgery. But my idea for that was to be very niched down. You know, I'm a tall girl, right? Basically 6 foot when time I do my hair and put my shoes on. So I was thinking to niche down and do tall clothing, which I was going to do anyways over on Poshmark. But I'm not that thrilled with Poshmark, and I don't know what's going on over there. The Poshmark girls are like livid about a lot of things right now. So, and there's some scammers over there. They let in another well-known scammer. So I'm like, oh, okay. One that just got kicked off of Whatnot. She's been kicked off of eBay. So Poshmark let her back in. I'm like, hello. Even though I know many people warned them. Okay, anyways. So if I choose to do it, oh, look at this. Hang on, look at this. I can't tell if it's old or they just tea stained it. So let's pull that out. It's hard to tell these days. Yeah, you know what? This is older. That metal cap. Let's see the inside. Maybe. I'm going to put this in the cart. I kind of like that. We'll open it up in a quiet corner or out in the patio, okay? And investigate it some more. Okay, so let me finish talking to you guys while we look. So I might do that. I have picked out a name. I have secured the website domains for it. These are new, Big Lots and such. Oh, the bottom came out. Huh. I just sold one though. I put a fair meet in the middle price, $9.99. Yeah, that's too much. Goodwill. I don't even think I sold mine for that much. But anyways, okay, so I might do that. I'm not going to reveal the name yet because if I choose to do it, to niche down and do that, I need to protect some things until I get it ramped up. But I did buy the domain just in case. Oh, I've sold these. These are cool. That's a Colorado company, if I'm not mistaken. How much is this one? $4.99. Handcrafted Colorado. Yeah, I might do that. I don't know. Okay, anyways. Yeah, because I'm trying to downsize. But back to clothing, because things are changing and we don't know what's going to happen in this crazy political environment. I sold one of these too. It was bigger. I put it in the showcase because it's a candle. It actually sold. It was bigger though. $1.99. Can't remember what the big one sold for. You guys are cute. Okay, where was I? Oh, look at this. And Stephanie, all three of those vintage Harlequin things you gave me that were on little puffs, those all sold for a pretty decent price out of my booth. This looks like it was a cookie jar thing. That's a little bit more than I would want to pay, but look at her face. It's adorable. That's unique enough that and since that stuff is selling, because it's kind of, the 80s, 90s is coming back. Although that might be a little older, actually. I don't know. It's just her face is cute, and that style is coming back. I might do that. All right. Anyways, back to my train of thought. You guys bear with me. I'm trying to do a couple things at once here. That's a little left-in girl. Not in the greatest of shape. Let me pause for a moment. Where was I? That's cute. It's new, but that's cute to have fun with. It's got holes in it so you could put it on the wall for a door hook. And I'm leaning into not just vintage stuff, but like anything that's kind of cool that people who don't do vintage and don't like to go thrifting kind of lean into to decorate, the decorating trends, as long as, it's something like I think I can flip pretty fast and I can get it at a good price. Certain things, you got to keep up on the trends to know. Okay, so clothing. And that looks like a little Alaskan piece. Huh, it is. Yeah, made in Alaska. That's what I thought. It's only $1.99. That's cute. Let's see whose teapot this is. Darn, I already see a crack, but let's just look. It's a haul. It's like either going to be a haul or a saddler or something like that. That's too bad. That's pretty with the cobalt, isn't it? It's got a big crack. Okay, so I've got too many thoughts going on at once, right? These look like Joseph original. Original, those are cute. $1.99. Yeah. Chipped though. So I think you're gonna see some people go back to getting a job, or a part-time job at least. I've always said reselling is more fun part-time, seriously. Unless you want to hire a bunch of people and you want to be responsible for their paycheck and like get into the hustle grind, which I do not. I don't. It's more fun part-time. I'm thinking that replenishables, you're going to see a lot of people go into replenishables. I saw one large YouTuber starting to try the branding, custom branding of their own merchandise, probably made in China stuff, but whatever. even amongst tariffs, I think I saw him trying that. Be interesting to see how that goes. Need to have a following for that. Okay, these always sell out of the booth. These hand hug mugs. It's only $4.99. Yeah, we'll get that. We'll do that. That's not bad. I'm definitely getting this Wall Street stuff. Looks like there's some good comps on it. $6.99. I'm not too afraid of that. It's nicely done too. Definitely getting that. Okay, so anyways, I think that clothing is still going to be a safe bet. And I've been buying clothing this whole time. I just haven't been listing it or anything. And I've been racking up a lot of things for tall girls, for us tall girls, knowing that I was probably going to niche down and do that, because I think that's going to be helpful too moving forward, unless something changes in this economy and political environment. Plus, I want to spend more time with my husband. Again, he's retiring next month. And, well, that's pretty too with the bird. And my mom requires a little more assistance, and family first. Whose is that? That was made in France. Dang. I don't love shipping those. The people who collect teapots is kind of dwindling, but they're still out there. I'm going to put it in the cart, and at the end of the aisle, I just want to learn about it. I want to just get out of the way. And I'll put it back here at the end of the aisle, but I want to learn about that name. So anyways, moving forward, you're going to see me just be a lot more choosy about the price points I'm willing to deal with. Might be a little different story for if it's drag and drop for my booth. That might be different. But I might start going to the bins for that kind of stuff if the thrift stores keep raising their prices. Luckily, I have so many to choose from, but most of them are really getting into the game themselves, which is another factor that resellers are having to deal with. It doesn't really affect us old school people that know how to do it with or without a cell phone. Occupy Japan. Yeah. Might do that for the booth, we'll see. Anyways, blah blah blah. You guys know, you watch enough of everybody, or you're a reseller yourself and you kind of know what's happening. Alright, a few more aisles and then we will go look at clothing. Oh, I see some interesting furniture. Okay, this is a Longchamp. I've never found one before. So I think I will. This has got some value on it. Here, let me turn it around. Sorry. There we go. I think I'll take a chance on this. It might be a little bit more long tail, but I've never sold a Longchamp. I'll take the tape off when we get out to the patio to make sure it's okay under the lid, and I want to open this up. I went ahead and put back the Occupy Japan little thing. Maybe if there were two of them. They don't sell for a whole lot. It's just the Occupy Japan thing that some people like to collect. Again, I am working a lot smarter, not harder. Alright, bases. I have no idea if I finished any kind of coherent thought, but I think you guys get my drift, right? Because I talk about it enough here and there. Some studio art pottery. Interesting. $8.99. It is signed. It's kind of interesting, but again, sales are slow everywhere. People are being super cautious. I know I am too. Oh, this is so cool though. What is that? See, that looks like a better buy. That is foreign. It's only $4.99. It's got an 80s, 90s vibe as well with the airbrush. Little beachy theme. Yes, that's the one. I don't want to lose that perfume bottle. That is so cool. That's just something for me. It's like one of those TikTok, Instagram, Etsy type things where they get a bunch of stuff from China and they rebrand it and then spend a bunch of money. This one's called Pink Pewter. But I like these things. You guys see me wear that kind of stuff before. Usually earrings. So it's 2 of them. Just a little thing for me. That might go some other time if it goes on sale. Things have to be really good. Good price. To offer a good price. Like I said, things are changing. Let's check this out. Haha, fooled. Does that even say, oh, Hobby Lobby? I was going to say, does that even say Greenbrier, which is, Dollar Tree? I'd be like, okay, I got to do the walk of shame now. I like these that's a cute little bundle of succulents. I'm not going to pay that much, though. It's probably like a Dollar Tree or Target thing. Yeah, life is better when you're laughing. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot to laugh about. Laugh or cry. Seriously. I'm still a little reeling. I'm still recovering a little bit from a pretty crappy last 18 months. But, I keep my head up. Some of my friends are having troubles now. It's alright. We'll get through it all together somehow. But you better be a good person so that you can have friends. That's Raku. $5.99 though, because that's pretty rough, you guys. This I know is going to be just like a floral piece, but okay, never mind, it's cracked. I just like the wrap, the rigory, and the color, so if it was cheap enough, even though it's just a floral piece. But I see that it's got a chip already. I think we've seen most of these, right? Yeah, I just started at the one by my house. We're in here a lot, you guys, but I'm going to be working my way down. And I'll add to the videos or split them out. Depends on how much time I spend in each one and how much I find. Because I am going to... that's unique. Little haze for that front paper sack. I like that. Let me see if there's any kind of marking just to learn something. That's interesting. $3.99. I wish it wasn't dishwater haze. That's another thing I'm over. I used to get things and I'd be willing to repair. I'd be willing to clean. Not quite as much anymore. It's got to be a certain price point for that. Okay, let's change aisles. Alright, I'm in the patio and we opened this up. Unfortunately, and I tried to get it back down, close it up and get it back down, and then the delicate fabric starts to rip. That's a shame because this is an older one. Only $6 too, but we'll have to let that go back. Alright, let's go back inside and check rounder tops and look at clothing a little bit, and then I'm on to the next one. On clothing, to kind of go for where the money probably would be is, of course, dresses, suits, things like that. And athleisure is my favorite. Jeans, you might get lucky, but most of the thrift stores, especially the Goodwills, are marking up their brand name jeans. But they only know mall brands like Miss Me and stuff. And there's some really high-end brand names that they don't know. And I've gotten lucky. You guys saw me get lucky last year with those crossover jeans. I paid $30 at the Ark and I sold them to someone in New York. I can't say who, but she's big in the ballet theater community in New York. She bought them for $500. Yeah. So it can be done. But again, athleisure, if you're limited on time or you want entryway besides t-shirts, I would say athleisure because people know what they wear in the brand that they like. They usually know the size exactly. These are long, that's why I'm looking. Old Navy, yeah, Old Navy does petite and tall. And it stretches. It's good fabric, stretches, less returns. Here I'll show you an example. So see American Eagle they know. And so those will be marked up. $14.99. $14.99. And PacSun, that's a mall brand, $10.99. These only resell for about 20 to 25. Express, small brand, that's a good brand. You all know I love Express. Those are long too. But you'd have to get it a little cheaper than that to make it worth your while to do that. I mean, I'm not trying just to give myself busy work. I mean, I am trying to keep myself off the streets, haha. I always said that for fun. But I'm also want it to be profitable and smart. I'm not trying to wear myself out. And yes, again, at the booth is different. Drag and drop, right? It's American Eagle. Let me see if I find some Miss Me's or something. Levi's, sometimes they mark them up and sometimes they don't. Let's check this pair. $19.99, yeah. I'm in the girls, you guys. I don't see any kind of Miss Me. This is, what is that? Is that Walmart or Target? I can't remember, but or Kohl's maybe, the copycat of American Eagle. They're so flimsy and just not even cut the same. The deal with American Eagle, I've got a couple pair, even though I'm basically a Levi girl, is if you try a pair on, you'll get it. They really figured out, I don't know who the designer is, but they really figured it out on, it's got a little butt lift, okay? So that's why that's why it went crazy with high school and college girls, because it just really makes your bottom look good. These were sold at Kohl's. I never did like Levi, you know? Well, not your daughter's jeans, but 70s rocker, so it was Levi's. That was it. It's always been cool. Wrangler was more for cowboys, western. Although I'm watching Animal Kingdom right now. It's not about animals, it's, well, human animals. And there's a Jordache. Ugh. Um, and one of the girls on there was wearing some really cool looking flare bell bottoms. And I'm like, those are Wranglers? And they look like okay, we're back at that. It looks like they stretch too. And I'm like, that's interesting. They might be making some cooler ones for girls, keeping up with the proper trends. But typically, you can never go wrong with Levi's if you're wanting to be cool across all boards, all genres, all themes, all subcultures, whatever you want to call it. You can never go wrong with a pair of Levi's. Well, I was going to say, okay, let's go through the dresses real quick. I was going to say I'm just going to stand right here and just go by fabric because I'm about ready to leave this location and go to my tax appointment. But I backed up because someone was looking, so I just backed up. And I was like, oh, look at these. I wonder if these are Spanx, which sell for a lot. Now, they're not. They're a Spanx copycat. They're time and true. I can never remember, Walmart or Target. Okay, anyways, I think Walmart. Oh, made in Egypt. Did not know that. Anyways, but anyway, so I was cruising through here and I noticed something. So I got lucky. Anatomy. This is an instance on clothing. If you're going to sell clothing, you really have to keep up with what's happening. These are not mall brands, so to speak. These are not everyday brands. These are for people that have a little bit more money. This is awesome. There's also a jacket that matches it. These are their stretched joggers for travel joggers. So these will resell anywhere between 40 to 80 depending on where and condition. I might even keep these for myself if they're my size. How much are they? $8.99. That's okay on these. Oh my goodness. So that's awesome. So I've either made a little money or saved a little money. On these, I'll check the construction on these and see how closely they copied Spanx. They do feel pretty good for Walmart, but you know, Walmart also does Danskin. Danskin makes a lower end line for them, like a diffusion line, I always say. And somebody else does. There's a Fabletics. Is it Columbia? Anyways, I might get those because they're pretty affordable. Alright, let's see. Now, usually I can go through and I can tell by here, like Lululemon, some of the better names, just the way it feels. Let's see, but everyone's copying Lululemon. It's just gone crazy, but that looks like it right there. Oh, yes, look. Ha ha ha. That's it right there. That's their basic, if it's in good shape. But Lululemon has been around long enough now that they're copycatted. There are fakes. Oh my gosh, Whatnot is full, and Poshmark full of people selling fake Lululemon. $10.99. And the basic pieces don't really resell for that much anymore because there's so many. You know, like I said, they've been in business long enough now, and it's usually a dot in the pocket. Okay, size 8. Yeah, I'm not going to pay that much if they're here when they go on sale. It has to be something that's trending, a limited edition, for me to really want to, or it's got to be super affordable. Yeah, that's how you do it. What brand is this? Champion. So everyone's kind of doing the Lululemon like waistband thing. Okay, anyways, that's a better purchase right there. A little bit higher end designer. Alright, over here. Just looking at fabrics real quick. Let's look at this. This looks like a deconstructed item. It is. Super cool. Oh my gosh, I like that. Oh, look, it's still got the tag on it too. Pretty little thing. UK 12, USA 8, Euro 40. This is fast fashion. They're copying runway stuff. But how much is it? Because it might be doable. $12.99 because it still has the tag on it. They probably would have priced it a lot cheaper. Man, I like this for myself. That is cool. But I do already have like a top like this. A fit and flare kind of top like this with lace on the side. I just love ruching. You know when you have a little Buddha belly? Ruching, it just really helps. That little Free People dress I was telling you guys I bought at Nordstrom Rack. I think it was last video. It was a ruche dress. One of my favorite styles. I'm going to pass on this. It's just fast fashion. If it was a better name, yes. Or if it was cheaper, then maybe. I would normally do this a lot more quickly. This is because it has feathers. I have to know. I think someone upcycled that. Yes, they did. This. The gingham checkerboard. Worldwide Sportsman. This is a men's shirt, actually. That's cool, though. Sports stuff for sportswear, hiking, athleisure, like I say, athletic. It's just a really good genre for clothing. There's another outfit for dancing. Sometimes I do this. I've talked about that before. People can save money on little outfits if they're just entering the field, or practice outfits. It's a Tommy. This is men's. Spiked Snow Mount Upslope Brewing Company. Hawaiian shirts are a thing, but so many people have hopped onto that. You do need to be sure it's a good one. I think you can still do well with a rain spooner. I don't know about high-low hatting, and I'm sure I did not say that right. Alright, that was good. I'm going back to athleisure. That's always my favorite. It's always a good bet. Now let's go over there where they have jackets and shirts for the athleisure. Before we leave this area though, I just spotted this. This is equestrian wear. So that's always a yes. if this was in a little bit better condition, because people that buy this kind of stuff have a little bit more money. Maybe if they're entry level, again, they might try to save some money, but they still are going to want it to look as new as possible because they're running in a circle of people that have money. I just know equestrian wear is always good. $8.99, 30% off. It's just this is the reason I'm not, for the reasons I just explained. And by the time they put that on, it's going to spread out and look even more cracked and old. And they're going to be embarrassed depending on what crowd they run with. But high chance a money crowd. Alright, I went through the jackets looking for anything good. Didn't really see a lot. I mean, there's some pretty stuff for personal use. What happened is, that girl here, I think, got here before me. She's got a bunch of stuff she pulled, and she was looking things up on her phone, so I was probably about 5 minutes too late. Probably a reseller. Actually, it's probably about time for me to go. Look at this crazy thing. It looks modern. Let me see if there's any cracking on it. If there's no cracks on it, that's unique enough and cheap enough. For only $5.99, I'll put that in the booth. Well, look at this one. Another one. The other one was $12.99, a little bigger. I couldn't get it because I noticed one of them was chipped. This one's even prettier, I think. A little bit smaller, only $9.99. Yeah, I think I'll get that one for the booth. It's still about almost 1.5 feet, I'd say. Alright, you guys, I hope you had a little bit of fun. So let me go to my appointment, and I'll go hit some more thrift stores and film for you guys. Bye for now.